Welcome back to R&B Reviews, and we're now entering part 3 of our Q&A video where we asked all of you viewers to send us any questions you wanted to note in order to help us celebrate our 1-year anniversary. We had quite a bunch. We already went through 2 videos, and we're just about done, so let's get back to it. Okay, Roar Zors says, great channel. Question, what is your favorite Stephen King adaptation? And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen too many Stephen King films, but I would probably go with The Shining, even though it's slightly different. The Kubrick version is slightly different than the book in some ways.
I love The Shining. It's a terrific film. One of the best horror movies ever made, but The Mist is my favorite Stephen King adaptation of all time. I think it's great. Frank Darabont is really, I think, the director who fully understands Stephen King's books, his literature, everything. And it's just a terrific film, I think. I mean, read the book. It's in Skeleton Crew, a short story collection, and then see the movie.
And Come 3 Killed, 2 Kill says, what's your favorite horror franchise and what's your favorite horror actress? I don't know if this is the answer that they're looking for, but my favorite horror franchise would be the Frankenstein series from the 1930s. And my favorite horror actress, I'd probably go with Ingrid Pitt from the Hammer films.
For me, favorite horror franchise, I love the Halloween franchise, particularly before it turned to shit, which you could argue was part 2, but I love part 2 and 4, and the one where they bring back Jamie Lee Curtis. Those are all great ones, but franchises, the Living Dead franchise from Romero I love, and of course the Evil Dead films. I can't think of any other horror franchises I really follow very intensely. I mean, a lot of them kind of suck to me, like Friday the 13th and like the Child's Play series and the Freddy Krueger ones, you know, where the first movie's good, but the rest are just complete crap.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to the remake to the first Freddy Krueger film, and I'm sure a lot of our fans will want us to review it, so we'll have to...
Well, I want to see it. I just want to see how they screw him up like they did Jason, but... And for the favorite horror movie actress, gosh, I'm sure there's one I'm missing, but maybe Adrienne Barbeau from The Fog and other John Carpenter movies.
Okay. Alright, Conman Review says, what are your top 10 favorite horror reviews? And honestly, I don't... This question, I'm sorry, kind of confused me. I mean, I haven't seen enough reviews to make a top 10 list, and I don't know if comment and reviews meant top 10 list of horror films or what, but I mean, if some of the best horror films I've seen were like the old Frankenstein and Nosferatu, the old Nosferatu, and the silent Phantom of the Opera and The Shining and all that.
Yeah, it just seems like they reworded their question weird. I've talked about horror movies enough. Let's go on to the next one.
Okay. Alright. Gaming Shadow 01 says, what do you think of the Terminator series? Do you plan on reviewing the films, and can you review Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3? Actually, when the remake came out, I was going to review the old one, but the thing was I never got around to seeing the old film or the new film.
The old film I've seen before, and I do like it. I've heard horrible things about the new one, and I actually asked someone to spoil the ending for me, considering I had no intentions on seeing it. So maybe the 1974 one, because I like Robert Shaw.
Yeah, and the Terminator series, I like the first 3. Some people don't like the first 3, but some people don't like the third one, is what I meant to say. And the fourth one, I wasn't crazy about. When they do Terminator 5, and if this page is still around, maybe I'll try and do the whole series, but right now that's not on the top of my list of stuff to do.
Well, I love the Terminator movies, from the first one all the way through... Well, I haven't seen the one with Christian Bale yet, but I love the television show. The television show was terrific. It should have never been canceled. And before you say the show sucked, you got to watch it from the beginning to the end. It was a terrific show.
Yeah. A
great serial, and it's sorely missed. I mean, a great sort of alternate universe type of Terminator thing where they erased the complete third film. So that I thought was pretty awesome. Yeah,
I like the series. I just did not like the fourth film. And there's a rumor going around that Joss Whedon's supposed to do the fifth film. That would be very interesting. I'd like to see what he can do with that. That would be interesting. David R. Castro 37. Which movies would you say is the best of all time? Now, this is a tough question. That's probably the most complicated one on the thing for me. Well, some of the ones I would consider the best of all time are mostly older films like Duck Soup and My Man Godfrey, the Humphrey Bogart Maltese Falcon, and one I would probably recommend if you're looking for something to watch is The Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. It's in color, not in black and white, because I know there's some people out in the world that will not watch a black and white movie. I mean, yeah.
Which is ridiculous, because there's some regardless on how the film is shot, you know, black and white, color, there's still, you know, there's great films on both.
Yeah, and with Adventures of Robin Hood, there are some anachronisms in it. I think that's how you pronounce it, where there's
anachronisms.
Some anachronisms, yeah. I mean, there's some in there, like they have access to stuff they wouldn't have at the time, but it's a good movie. I definitely recommend it. So,
for me, great. Well, obviously, when you say the word best films of all time, you're asking us, you know, what do we think are the best pieces of cinema, not what our favorite ones are. So the best ones, I think, is really Stanley Kubrick. Just look at his films. Dr. Strangelove is a terrific example. Yeah, it's in black and white, but if you haven't seen Dr. Strangelove, then you really you don't deserve to talk about cinema. You just gotta watch it. Goodfellas is another one.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese's a very good director.
Yeah, Scorsese, Taxi Driver is a terrific film. Touch of Evil, Citizen Kane, Orson Welles is a terrific filmmaker. I wish he just made a few more better films.
Yeah, and I found this. My mom said that one time he was trying to top Citizen Kane, and when I heard that, I automatically thought of Mr. Arcaden, because it seemed like a Citizen Kane knockoff, and he directed, wrote, and starred in that too. So that was a pretty weird film for me to watch. Like it was like the same thing over and over again.
Hitchcock,
Oh,
Psycho,
yeah,
Rear
yeah.
Window, Rope. Another great example of
the old version of The Man Who Knew Too Much. I love the older version much better than the newer one.
I love the Jimmy Stewart one.
Oh, come on, the old film was better, man.
I don't think so.
It's more creative,
I don't
you know.
think so.
No, it's better.
I'm sorry.
It's more. There's no musical numbers for Doris. They threw that in there, which I felt like it shouldn't have been there. I felt like it dragged.
It's one of
And
the more
Peter
memorable
Lorre is
scenes.
better. Peter Lorre is a better villain than the guy in the remake.
Peter Lorre is a terrific actor. Don't get me wrong there. I love like Arsenic and the Old Lace and what's that German movie he's in? I know.
M.
Yes, M. How did I not get that?
Yeah, and plus with the old version, I liked that it was a girl. The boy, for some reason, in the remake, didn't work for me.
Okay. Let's just save this review for later because it sounds like it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the Jimmy Stewart one. I think it's a terrific film.
No, old one. Peter Lorre better.
Let's move on from that.
Okay, and finally, last question. What made you guys want to review movies? Okay. Well, it kind of started with a show that's here in the U.S. called At the Movies that was hosted with Siskel and Ebert. You know, every week they'd review movies. They do thumbs up, thumbs down. And it changed when Siskel died in '99, and then Richard Roper came on, then Ebert got sick, and then Roper continued with guest hosts until it got canceled. How we came in, well, not canceled, he quit or something like that, fired or whatever. How we came in began when Ben Lyons and Ben Mankiewicz were brought in as replacements. And the problem I had with their version of At the Movies was that it was too quick. I felt like they didn't go deep into the criticisms, and I thought, you know what, I could do better reviews than them. So
they're gone now. So
yeah, I was just coming around to that. So we did. So I was gonna do it, and I called him up. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do a movie review page, and he's like, oh, I was thinking about doing that too. And I thought, rather than compete, why don't we just do it where we just together we sit, we discuss the movies, what we liked, what we felt, and ironically, they, like he just pointed out, Ben Lyons and Ben Mankiewicz left and got replaced with good critics, A.O. Scott and Michael Phillips. And if you go to their movies at their webpage, atthemovies.com, I think, you can watch a bunch of their reviews from like the Siskel and Ebert days to the present. But that's how we got started. We got started because we didn't like what was going on at the movies, and we thought we could do better. And to an extent, I think we did.
Yep. Well, we are just out of time, so thank you guys for watching our question and answer video.
All right, thanks.